Okay, so today we are going to be doing our first False Reflections mini RP, kind of. More so that I woke up at 8 a.m. this morning, had an idea, and then messaged Jay, "Hey, want to play Kess and Fawn and False Reflections again for a little bit?"
Yes.
Uh,
The answer was
so,
yes, always.
so today we are going to be opening in a map that we haven't seen just yet. Kess and Fawn, after spending your first day at the town of Prish, you both kind of like stayed the night at the inn. The inn's relatively nice, pretty small. Unfortunately, the innkeeper is out today. Apparently, a lot of folks and a
It's
lot
so
of folks from
nice.
Prish are actually out of town right now due to the change in seasons. They're currently trying to go out and get some supplies from other towns that they wouldn't normally be able to get here with the seasons change. You two are sitting at your table here, kind of enjoying a nice breakfast meal and kind of chatting about each other about your plans for the day.
Fawn is inspecting the silverware very closely. Kestrel has just finished applying her makeup, which is an extensive routine that takes about an hour every morning. And she's worked her way down and sat down at the table, and she has crossed her legs, and then she snaps, pointing to the heavens. GM, I need
Yeah.
my legs.
Oh gosh, why'd your legs get removed?
It's the most important part of my morning
Oh,
routine, he
for some
says.
reason. Yeah, for some reason this Kestrel does not have legs. I do not want to give me a sec to fix that for you. I literally just copied the Kestrel from yesterday's session. Okay, that should be good.
If I don't start a session without Kestrel breaking the fourth wall, I'll have failed.
You should be able to move now.
Excellent. Yes. No, I can move him around. We're all good. No, the two sit quietly. As a curiosity, what type of dish would be sort of native to the Prish area? Like what would be served up here? Because Kestrel has that.
So, Prish is a town that has some more strange cuisine, more compared to other places in the world. Where you'd go to a place like Indigo, and you see a lot of like stuff from various different places. There's a lot of Gylardian food, a lot of like Southern Windrosy food, things like that. But things that aren't too out of like the norm, right? There are things that you can conceivably see in places. Prish, however, has a sort of its own an ecosystem of its own, as you've seen partially with the shades, with around and whatnot. Right now, what you're eating is some kind of crab dish,
Oh.
but the best way I can describe it is that these crab dishes are like almost hermit crabs of sorts that have been boiled and probably like a bunch of seasoning and vegetables and potatoes, things like that. And but the thing that wows you the most about this is that these hermit crabs like shell aren't like seashells. In fact, they're kind of like tiny versions of these little like obelisk things you've been seeing around town.
When you put it that way, this turns out to be the most efficient meal for the pair of us. Kestrel proceeds to dine upon the crab. Fawn eats the shell.
Yeah, fun. You eat the shell and you kind of like glow a little bit. Kind of like something you've actually noticed is that in this place you see these little like flares sitting throughout the air and things like that. And these are actually emanating from these little like obelisks sitting around here. And you weren't really out and about too much at night, but you almost assume that at nighttime, more than likely, the obelisks that you see out there more than likely also emit these to light up the streets.
Kestrel, sort of looks around the room. He examines pretty closely the various obelisks. Quite the oddity around these parts. What's your read on it, Fawn? She leans in, staring deeply into it. Delicious? No, I'm speaking more in a practical sense. What do you think it does? Is it just a source of illumination, or is there any other? You need to stop working. What? Her eyes expand to large sizes. You're thinking about how this could potentially be weaponized against you, right? Maybe a little bit. Her eyes sort of trace the far sides of the room. Look, you spend enough time working for the Last Resort and hunting out various oddities, you get used to, yeah, I've been with you every single step of the way, so I know. And I also know that these look delectable.
Fawn, do you try to eat any of these like floating like small lights that are floating around the air, like almost as if they're like fucking balls of candy or something?
She's thinking about it.
Yeah, I just have a vivid in my head of Fawn nomming on these like a fucking fish in a fish tank or something. Kestrel, as you kind of scan your eyes around the inn, your eyes eventually meet the stairs behind you for a second. You see a familiar face kind of stroll his way down the stairs a little. Well, 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 I
Fawn
see you two are
waves.
still in town.
Fawn
He
waves.
back.
Alameda, please sit with us.
Oh, if you insist. He plops down next to you.
Kind of mumbles off to the side.
When he hears Kestrel like kind of mumbling to the side, he kind of like puts one hand on his chin and then rests his elbow on the table. Oh, not so happy to see that I'm still in town. Not so happy to see me in your personal space, baby.
The first part is something that's honestly your business instead of mine. His eyes smooth shut. Ultimately, where you go and where you don't go is up to you, but the second bit, the part about being in my personal space, yes, maybe I mind a small amount. Face splits into a big smile. Fawn sort of scoots over. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm very glad to see you here as well, Fawn. He kind of looks over a bit. Yes, no, I'm not going to be here much longer myself. This is my last day in this small town after all. Got a large journey to go. Not my fault that apparently the train line got jammed.
Wait, hold on. The train line got jammed?
No, yes, apparently some big creature from the woods sat on the tracks and they had to move it off.
Oh, that'll get in the way of... We were supposed to leave today. We had a ticket and everything.
Oh, then you should probably at some point go get that exchanged.
Fine. Fawn looks over to Fawn. Her entire face lights up. We'll have it your way. I guess we're going to walk. Yes! Kestrel rubs both of her temples, just like already exhausted at the prospect.
Yeah, Alameda kind of sits here for a little bit and watches these two kind of chat with each other for a second, and he kind of goes, "Oh, you know, I must say though, I'm trying to figure out what to spend my day with today. No real jobs in town right now. Things are almost a little peaceful here."
Are you walking too?
Me? Oh, no. I'd get very tired very quickly.
Fawn's looking at Kestrel. Kestrel's like, fine, go ahead. Fawn scoots over a little bit. Well, maybe we could spend the day here today, and then you can run us through getting our tickets traded over so that we don't need to walk. Looks back to Kestrel for approval. Kestrel just kind of like scratches the side of his head. Yes, I guess that would be slightly more efficient, and I would prefer taking the train. Hiking is exhausting after day 4.
Alameda kind of like gently places a hand upon his chest. Goes, "Oh, look at me, finally getting an opportunity to be just as useful as you two." That's awfully nice. He looks over at you two. Then we can have a fun little play date today. We can wander around, see the sights. Although I must admit, it does seem like a few places are closed today.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you've been here in the town longer than us, so you could probably show us around. Plus, if we're going to be taking the train together, it's best to travel in company, right? She says, confirming this with Kestrel, who just mutters off to the side. Well, it's certainly better than walking, yes.
Yes, yes. Alameda's head slowly creaks towards Kestrel. So, what kind of things are you two looking to enjoy? Looking for something exciting, something new, something mysterious?
I highly doubt that this town would. Looks around at the obelisks. I doubt that this town would have anything purely glamorous, something that would wow me, but maybe it has something mysterious. He looks over at the staff that you carry. You seem like the type of person that would be drawn to things that are most unusual. He's like trying to state this as like backhandedly as possible, trying to call you weird. Fawn leans in. You have a lot of unusual items about your person. Also, your aura is so strange. I bet you know all the weird places in town. Kestra lets out a snort.
Oh, at least a few. I haven't seen anything like the interior of that dungeon this town's on top of. But I have at least seen quite a few things on the surface. After all, I'm a wanderer of sorts. He kind of places a hand on his chest again.
Fawn scoots over. Did you hear that? Dungeon. No, you promised me. When we came to town, the dungeon is the one place we wouldn't be getting into. Because if we got involved with that dungeon, we would be here for weeks, if not months.
Yes. After all, I doubt you'd have a easy time getting in as well. I don't know if you've heard, but as it is recently, it is the slime migrating season. That's one of the reasons why there's so many of those little creatures scurrying around on the surface right now. From
Oh,
what
I
I've heard
see.
from that awfully big fellow, Anton, apparently a bunch of slimes teamed up to climb the elevator shaft they used to crane themselves down and cause quite a mess.
Well, there you have it, Fawn. No going down there. Too many slimes. Fawn twitches. Oh, I want to see the slimes.
Alameda kind of stretches a little bit and then stands up from his chair. So then he looks at Kestrel. You want something that will surprise you, something that will shock you.
He nods and takes a step forward and then puts some money down on the counter. Alameda, did you order anything or did you just
No.
come down? Okay, excellent. You notice that Kestrel is tipping the exact amount as correct. You take a look at Kestrel, this resplendent, glorious figure, and then you sense something. What's this? An air of frugality!
He kind of like sees that and then like like doesn't really even comment at all and then like takes a step back. Well, I can assure you that by the end of today, I'm sure I will have come up with something to shock and surprise you at the very least.
Well,
He
I'm looking forward to your best efforts then.
You three scoot out into the town at large. Let us move you to town one. Did you see any clones of yourself? Tell me so I can kill them to
I
save the
think
timeline.
I think they're all dead. Yeah, they're all dead. They're all dead. Nobody's alive right now.
Yeah. You three head out, and Alameda like takes a few steps forward, and then immediately starts walking in this direction.
Kestrel shrugs and follows afterwards.
All right, and I'm gonna drag you over to the next map now. You arrive in another section of town that you and Fawn haven't necessarily been in yet. As Alameda kind of gestures around, I do really love the river of this town. The fact that they had the stubbornness to actually spend time to build a town on top of a river is quite impressive.
I have to say, the architecture that they're using to suspend this place is Fawn. Fawn is slowly walking off in this direction towards the cloud of smoke.
I see she's found our first stop. And he takes a few steps forward really quickly. Now, this place I actually don't know too much about, and it seems many of the other townspeople don't. Apparently, whoever runs this place just recently set up shop Hell, even a few days before I even arrived.
Well, I'd be eager to meet them. Kestrel, like, looks around. I'm curious why they're releasing so much pollution into the rest of. Do you think this is poisonous?
Alameda kind of waves his hand around in the air and goes, "Oh, I wouldn't think anything of this. Any mage worth his 2 cents to be able to tell. This is just some byproducts of alchemy and such."
Any mage worth his 2 cents should be able to tell what this is. Kestrel, like, looks away, refusing to make eye contact with you or the building itself. Fawn grabs her hand. Come on, let's go.
You three head inside the mysterious building full of clouds and shit.
Whoa.
You three enter this building that is just positively full of that smoke that you saw before. And in front of you, you see a person just sitting in the middle of like this big ass, almost shockingly empty room as like this person just begins to speak and almost like cloud of that magic mist just begins to exhale outwards a bit. Ah, welcome, welcome. What can I do for you three today?
Kestrel looks around, watching Fawn jumping up and down like a hungry fish at the orbs of light. Takes a step forward. My name's Kestrel, and I'm a wandering mercenary. I was curious what this building is and why it's so overcome with smoke.
This figure sitting on this like weird almost couch like thing looks up at you. Oh, this is just my shop. Recently set up shop here, if you would. I thought it'd have a good opportunity. This place feels like a place that things may happen in fairly soon that might be worth my interest.
Oh. Kestrel thinks about that. Well, if it's a shop, what exactly do you sell here?
He kind of tilts his head a bit to the left, and tilts it a bit to the right. Lessons.
Lessons. So you're a teacher then?
No.
Hmm.
His head kind of cranes and tilts the other way. I don't teach lessons. I merely give you information of other people's lessons.
Oh, so you're something closer to an information broker then.
If you wish to think of me like that, you can. This figure begins to almost like float a little bit this way, and then crane back this way, and then set itself straight again, and looks at you. No, I doubt you have anything. Well, I have anything that'd be immediately interesting to you. So I must ask, why exactly have you come into this shop? As you can see, he gestures his hands all around. You notice all of his shelves are completely empty right now. I have no wares to sell yet.
No lessons to teach?
Oh no, I can definitely give you a few of those. For a price. After all, such things do not cost, well, physicality.
Kestrel sort of rubs her chin for a second. You know, this is all striking me as awfully familiar. Back in the Church of Rakis, we actually organized ourselves like this. A head bishop wouldn't know all of exactly what you needed to learn themselves, so they'd send you to individual priests to looks over back at this one, the other member of the Church of Rakis. Priests who could teach you various things.
Alameda in the corner is measuring this table with his staff.
Of course, that requires the priest to have achieved some degree of usefulness. He shakes his head and then looks back at the store owner. So, I am genuinely curious, and I've got an afternoon to kill. Who in town do you think could teach me a lesson? And what do I need to pay?
His head cranes to the left, cranes to the right again. There's that fella who runs the blacksmithery. Anton, I believe his name is. He can probably teach you a thing or two. Turns his head to the right. There's also a figure currently standing in the entrance to the dungeon. I believe they can also teach you something. Cranes its head back to the left again. There's another individual standing outside the museum. They can't teach you anything.
Kestrel nods at all this. Well, that's actually very useful information. So, what do I need to give you in exchange?
He, like, this being sitting on this couch kind of extends out a hand almost. And he goes, "My payment is not any currency. You can't find any currency in this country that would be useful to someone such as myself. No, my payment is artifacts. Collect me magical artifacts, things of interest. These are the things that will allow you to learn these lessons."
Oh, Kestrel actually reaches down and, like, sort of shifts through her bag. And, like, at first, the first thing that he bumbles into is the music box that they acquired yesterday. But, like, shifting a little bit deeper, he, like, reaches in and pulls this out. Well, for the most part, I'm supposed to transport back any artifacts I find to Aranea, the Last Resort, or the Church of Rakis so that they can properly be disposed of. But I have come across a few harmless ones in my travels. You want them? They're yours. Sort of holds out a bag.
His head tilts up and he actually almost eagerly grabs the bag that you're holding and he takes a look in. What kind of artifacts are these?
These are the ones that were not reclaimed by, like, okay, so to describe Kestrel and Fawn's job, especially recently, they've been traveling around picking up, like, mercenary work from the Last Resort, the Church of Rakis, and even Aranea. Small townships hire them, etc. Whenever an oddity appears, like, for example, the one near Prish, they'll show up, clean it up, and transport it back to the person that hired them. Frequently enough, though, the oddities turn out to be either harmless or the people don't want them. So Kestrel has been carrying around a bag of these things, actually for about 2 years at this point, trying to find an adequate hole to throw them in.
I see. This person actually gets up off of his couch. He's actually a fair bit shorter than you, Kestrel. And takes a few steps this way, kind of slowly, and then places these down on this bench back here, which I will do at another time.
Yes.
And it returns and sits down. Very well. I'll give you access to these lessons. Jay, roll me a 1d10.
Oh, boy.
Actually, you know what? This is a mini RP. Roll me just a 1d2.
1d2. Yeah.
He looks up at you. Yes. He, an almost like slight glow kind of emanates from him for a second. Then Kestrel, in almost an instant, you kind of receive like some flashes in your mind, almost like a sensitivity burst that happens. And in an instant, you feel like you have some form of knowledge of blacksmithery and applying oneself to these weapons you forge. Kestrel, you just gained access to one of Anton's gifts.
Ah, beautiful.
I have not wrote it yet, so I'll
Understandable.
write it later and give it to you.
Kestrel grips the side of his head like, that's an incredible power you have there.
Tilts his head to the side again. No, is it? Tilts his head to the right. Be perfectly honest, I was just born like this. Turns his head to the left again. Not much incredible about someone who was born this way. Don't you agree?
Kestrel thinks.
True things that are actually incredible are things that must work to get to this point.
Kestrel's eyes sort of smooth shut. Not wrong one. Let's do this one. Kestrel's like eyes smooth shut for a second. Can't say I necessarily agree. I think working and being born a certain way and also working for it. They all have their own merit. I don't think I could judge something based on why they are the way they are, just simply the way they are. Kestrel, like, extends a hand, face splitting back into a smile again. In fact, most of the creatures that I've encountered across my journeys have been forced out of their natural habitats, forced to turn into things that they didn't exactly want to be. I don't find that to be particularly incredible. Rather, more pitiful. Looks back over to Fawn, and then smiles, and looks back over to Alameda.
The person sitting in front of you's head kind of cranes all the way to the left again, then sticks back in the middle. I see. I suppose you have a point of some fashion. Forgive me. He places a hollow hand upon his chest. I am not what you would call someone who has interacted with people much in my time. It's, you believe it or not, he gestures around to his shop. All this mist, all this flare, it tends to scare people nowadays in this modern era.
Honestly, it's kind of understandable. It's not exactly fantastic publicity to have your shop look like it's constantly on some sort of arcane fire. But just the same, I think you'll only draw interesting people in.
Yes, I suppose in a way that's the plan. After all, the most interesting ones are the ones with the best lessons to teach, wouldn't you say?
Kestrel suddenly feels a sort of a chill. Curiosity. That person who I just took a lesson from, did they
Yes.
agree to this exchange?
His head kind of cranes to the right, and then cranes to the left again. Agree in the sense of word, no. But you could say in a way that their mind willingly released this lesson into the air. I can only capture lessons that are ambiently floating around, and lessons can only be released by those willing to give them.
Kestrel's entire expression relaxes. That's all I needed to know. I was a little worried because if you were stealing these thoughts, well, they sort of take a step backwards. That sounds like the type of thing that eventually, that would make you the type of misfortunate creature that I might be sent to hunt one day. And I would hate to do that.
His head turns to the right again. Out of curiosity. Head cranes to the left. What kind of creature do you think I am?
Kestrel sort of smiles and, like, eyes squeeze shut again. If I had to guess, eyes peek back open. You're a human.
Head cranes to the right again, then cranes back in the middle. Well done. Most people assume I'm one of those shades, believe it or not.
Kestrel, shakes his head. Honestly, assumptions like that can be so cruel or biting, but even if you were one of those shades, you talk, you exchange information, you show humility and compassion. There's no way around it. You're certainly human, at least by my understanding.
Flash to indigo to another person very similar to this one, who shows no compassion whatsoever.
Yeah!
Well, I suppose in a way that is refreshing. His gaze actually drifts over to Fawn, who has been trying to eat these orbs in the air. I also see that you have one of these. I believe that is a legend, correct?
After giving the speech on humanity and all that, Kestrel's face kind of screws up. She's my partner, yes.
Yes. They're quite interesting, really. I'm fairly used to seeing mages in the modern era. Well, unfortunately, keeping them on a leash, if you get what I mean.
Kestrel's expression sort of falls. Well, I've actually got two things to set you straight on. I'm no
Yes.
I'm no mage, and he like reaches up and pulls back his sleeves, revealing long tattoos going up going up either arm. This isn't a leash. This is a promise.
Oh, I see. Binding your own contract to your very flesh.
Unfortunately,
What an interesting way.
with no magic, I didn't have much of a choice.
Quite interesting indeed. He kind of relaxes back a bit. I can also sense that one over there. He gestures over to Alameda, who has, at this point, completely started disassociating and is kind of getting to been sitting here waiting for you to finish your conversation. You can tell he's getting kind of bored. That one over there, I can tell, has something contracted with him as well. But it also appears that he has no idea what it is.
He entered a contract without 100% understanding his partner.
No, not at all. It would seem as if he's the type of person who placed 100% trust in something he just met.
Kestrel ruffles her hair and then just takes a step forward. Yeah, I thought he pissed me off for a reason. Hey, Alameda.
Oh, yes, he says, turning away after a brief chit-chat with Fawn.
And when I got one, it kinda tasted like... And then the interruption takes a step forward. We're heading out.
Oh, good. There's plenty of other places that we can visit at this point. Let's see, he actually begins walking. We can visit the community hub, although I hear they're still setting that one up. Pretty barren last time I checked. Or we could visit, we could always visit the entrance to the dungeon. We can't go in, but who knows? Might be a worthy experience.
That's the one that I'd rather see.
Okay then, let us make our way there. You three, head out, leaving behind the gacha shop.
I can feel it.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and warp you, I'm gonna warp you back to, actually no, we'll have you walk there because there's some, maybe, whatever. You three heading, back out, let me get a good theme rolling from my Prish playlist. How about this one? You three head out, and Alameda kind of strolls on ahead. So, have a fun conversation with that shopkeeper?
I absolutely did. He enlightened me to a wide variety of different things.
Oh, anything world-shatteringly dramatic?
I think I learned how to blacksmith.
Oh, isn't that very interesting? Such quick lessons you can get nowadays. Takes another step forward. I was having to catch his name. When I talked to him, he wouldn't even tell me his name.
I didn't catch it either. Kestrel kind of shrugs. I'm going to be honest. I have a bad memory when it comes to people's names. We travel around so much that I tend to not listen to exactly people's titles because the guarantee is that we'll probably not be back the same way. Fawn's entire expression just actually screws up at that, like a oh.
That's quite a pessimistic attitude you have there, I suppose.
I more consider myself a realist.
Ah, but would you also consider yourself an optimist with them?
No, that's her.
He looks back. I, for one, like to believe that in some way, shape, or form, everyone in this world that we get to meet at some way, we'll all eventually meet again.
Ah, you're a fan of Shinpei.
Oh, yes. After all, it's quite sad to think that people you've learned to care about or love will just disappear from your entire life one day.
I think it's a little bit of an exaggeration to say that I've immediately started to care about somebody I met 5 minutes ago. Fawn sort of scoots forward like as someone who cares about people that she met 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you absolutely wooed me with that. I would say I would care about you a great deal already. After all, you gave me that absolute wonderful princess dip when we were battling those shades the other day.
Serious face. Meanwhile, Fawn. Plus, we didn't meet you 5 minutes ago. We've been hanging out with you for the last day and a half. So, looks over to Kestrel. I suppose that's a good point. Also, I don't believe I remember giving you a princess dip or anything like that. I think I dropped you.
Oh yes, but it was the moments before that matter. It was enough to make my heart skip a beat even. He completely does this dramatic pose in front of you. You two, you three head out to the next section of the town.
Oh.
Who-
Ooh.
In the top right is where you're at.
Okay.
You three walk down. Now, I believe the entrance to the dungeon, well, the path leading to it, is somewhere around here. Yes, he takes a few steps forward and then points at this alley over here. I believe this would be the spot. Kestrel and Fawn, you actually notice someone standing in front of this big building right here who is, like, kind of messing with, he looks like he's almost, like, kind of messing with the obelisk slightly. Kind of just lightly humming to himself.
Who's that?
Alameda looks over. Oh, I believe that's the mayor of the town.
Oh, whoa. Probably has a lot to deal with, especially with the slime migration.
Possibly. He kind of looks over. Perfectly frank, I didn't have a chance to talk to him very much before. He seems like a nervous fellow, to be perfectly honest.
I would have thought that he'd been the one to hire you on to deal with the object in the shrine.
Oh, no, that was that large fellow.
Oh. Okay. Huh. Well, yeah, I'm curious enough. Wanders forward.
You walk up and you see this dude with his, like, eyes closed, just kind of, like, jauntily humming to himself a little, and oh, whoops, I forgot to put on his alt pogs on here. Oops, keep on talking.
Yeah, Kestrel sort of moves forward as, like, crossing step by step, long high heels impacting the stones. She moves up to this person and just thinking like, well, Prish doesn't have a branch of the last resort, which made my job a little bit harder. I'm kind of curious what they think of people like that around here, so I won't press it too hard, but I gotta know. Takes a step forward and waves. Hello. My name's Kest. Yeah.
As you go up and say hello and wave, this guy kind of, like, immediately, like, you kind of hear a, oh, and then a, bats right here. Hello. Takes a step forward. Can I help you today?
Yes, you can. My name's Kestrel. I'm a traveling mercenary with Last Resort. Holds out a hand.
Ah, last resort, I see. He kind of mumbles to himself for a second there, and extends a hand. I am Mayor Hugo of Prish. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Now, I actually had a few questions about incidents surrounding your town.
Oh, do you? Yes, how about we take a seat over here? He sits down on this bench.
Now, Mayor, I have to ask, what's the status of your town as it relates to RNA of the Last Resort or the Church of Rakis? Because, she crosses her legs, sort of tapping at the side of her head. I have to ask, there are a lot of unusual objects and oddities around the outside, and I hear there are monsters gigantic, fearsome, and terrible. I'm curious if you have any sort of contingency plan in case your small town of Prish comes under attack.
Good. That is a good question you have there. He kind of clears his throat a bit, and he kind of like looks upward and like kind of gestures to the dungeon. You see, when it comes to the dungeon, the people who live in this town have kind of grown a bit accustomed to handling such things. Our tour guide Ricky is actually a very skilled wrangler, I guess is the way I'd describe it. He is very skilled at, well, keeping monsters below, for the most part. Sometimes some smaller things, such as slimes or other things, kind of make their way around, and they are they're interesting. They're fine. Some people keep them as pets, so don't need to worry yourself about that.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm not worried for my own sake. No, 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 no. I'm worried for the sake of well, all the people who could potentially have to deal with a gigantic monster crawling its way in and destroying the train tracks.
oh, oh, he raised his hand. Now, I will fully admit that I will actually refuse any form of responsibility on the town of Prish's side for that. For that monster appeared from the woods, not from the dungeon. I can assure you, the it was we may have monsters like that in the dungeon. Doesn't mean it came from there. There are many exits. It doesn't mean the one in Prish was the exit that it came from. And I can assure you, Ardea is currently on it. We have had to contact them already.
Of
It's
course.
fine.
Of course, of course, of course. Like eyes smooth shut. It's funny. If Fawn over here in Alameda just like reaches up. Yeah, sorry. Kess kind of gets like this sometimes, especially talking to officials.
Oh, I see.
It's
It looks like that mayor's about to have a heart attack.
yeah, I might tell her to back off a little bit.
The mayor reaches into his like shirt pocket and pulls out what appears to be a handkerchief and kind of wipes some sweat off of his brow and looks at you. Yes, I can assure you, when it comes to our affiliation with Last Resort and the church and the Aranea, we have ways to contact them, as you can see. We may not have the ability to use the sail or other such things in this town, but we do have ways to send messages along. Very luckily for us, due to the fact that there are train tracks nearby, we can then just head over that way and make a contact call there.
Well, it sounds like you have it all figured out, but at the same time, with the dungeon around, the creatures in the woods, as well as everything else that could happen around your town, wouldn't it be far more efficient to potentially, I don't know, fund a branch of the last resort of your own? And Fawn up here, and there's the sales pitch.
Oh, trying to have an entire organization planned in this town. Mayor kind of vibrates a little more and more upon you saying that. He kind of oh, an entire branch of the last resort, you say, here in our little town. He kind of mumbles to himself a bit. Well, that is not a bad idea, but don't you see that our town is so very small? We don't have much room to build more buildings. You feel like you're almost suggesting that we evict people.
Oh, it's not hard. You could just get a room or two at the inn. It's not too much money keeping people on retainer. And, in fact, with all the other last resorts that are drying up in the area, I'm sure they have a surplus of people. He kind of says, mumbling off to himself.
I suppose, but I would have to. How do I put this? While the safety would be quite. He thinks to himself for a little bit. Kestrel, you feel as if somewhere a mechanic has started to go off as a ticker goes up by 1. Well, I feel as if, as he kind of scooches more to the edge of the thing, if you look at Prish as a whole, on the averages of incidents versus normal days, I feel almost as if you'd be asking me to pay them to do almost nothing for 90% of the time. Then one day out of the month, they quickly come in and push some slimes back down a shaft when our very own tour guide Ricky has that covered.
Oh, that's the beautiful thing about the Last Resort, though. They'll do whatever task you need, from fighting monsters to digging out ditches.
Digging out ditches? Why would we want ditches? We're not burying dead people here. Are you suggesting that we kill people? He says, without a fucking tiny bit of irony, swiping more sweat off his brow. Another ticker goes up a little bit.
Ditches are a multi-purpose institution. Kestrel says, nodding quietly.
I'm gonna need you to roll to do against this guy.
Excellent.
Drop your swing.
Oh, yeah.
You can lock in an attribute if you want.
In this case, oh boy, yeah, we're going orange, baby. Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
So this guy is going to roll the die, complicated here, and
oh, it goes to him.
He swaps to his red stat and goes, no, I'm afraid I must put my foot down here. He kind of stands up a bit. I personally am very proud of Prish as a community as a whole. Everyone here has a role to play. And while I am absolutely certain that the Last Resort would have a role to play personally, and while it may be very greedy of me to say, I personally feel as if by introducing people whose job is to solve these problems for us, a part of the identity of our small town will be damaged in some way or form.
Kestrel kind of hangs his shoulders. Well, you can't blame me for trying. Kind of waves an arm. If you ever get a problem that requires adventurers, don't come crying to me.
Yeah. Also, he takes a wound. May or may not have something to do with that mechanic I mentioned. He kind of like it's like, I will keep your organization in mind, but please do forgive me if I do not currently interested in having in one of your installations planted in our home currently.
Kestrel sort of sighs and walks up in this direction. Well, I gave it a shot.
This guy over here, you kind of hear him mumbling to himself as he walks back into this big building.
Fawn like moves in. Yeah, you tried to reach out. You just tend to be a little severe and forceful and terrifying. Kestrel's face screws up again. What part of me is terrified? I was trying to be very businesslike about it. I was smiling the entire time. Come on.
Yes.
You had to see me try.
No part of you is terrifying whatsoever. Wouldn't you agree, Fawn?
No, listen, you scare people. Fawn is like shaking Kestrel slightly. Not on purpose, look. Unless something's done, the Last Resort's going to go under. I might not be a member myself, but I have friends and family in there. He's sort of like mumbles, like giving Fawn a miniature noogie in the process. Her entire face sort of like screws up. And then Kestrel turns and looks over at Alameda. Plus, this is sort of your problem as well. You're part of the church.
Oh, yes, it is, but also not my job, to be honest with you.
Just, come on. All across the country, they're shuttering different churches and abbeys. You can't say you're not at least a little bit concerned.
Oh, of course I am, but also as of right now, my job is to do things to make sure that we keep ourselves on the map so they can't go shuttering all of us.
I guess everybody's got their own job. He looks back to the place that the mayor went in. Me, I guess I'm just doing this on behalf of someone else. Hangs head, shakes it, moves forward. Come on.
Yeah, you three head over and you walk to the entrance of the dungeon. You three arrive here at the entrance of the dungeon. You take a few steps forward, and Alameda kind of gestures around a little. Yes, this is the entrance to the dungeon. Almost seems like they repurposed some kind of bridge to act as its entrance.
She, like, looks up and down, examining this entire thing. Fawn scoots across. They're, like, smelling at the various obelisks, checking these ones out, too. There's a whole treasure trove beneath the surface of the world here. Huh, really?
Oh, yes. This place goes quite deep from what I understand. Apparently they haven't even charted out the whole thing yet. From what I understand, as far as they've ever gone is 5 floors deep. Apparently further than that, it gets a bit dangerous. Hey, Fawn.
Yeah.
You notice something across from you.
Oh. Oh.
You see something kind of hunched and leaning against this obelisk.
Moves over. Looks down. Pokes.
You poke it?
Yeah.
You poke it, and then it just kind of... a little...
What did you... Is that a body? Takes a step around. No, it appears to be some sort of scarecrow?
Alameda, like, takes a look around and looks at it. Did I ever upload this thing's theme? I might have forgotten to upload this thing's theme for this thing. Whatever, I'll find a different one. How's this one? No. How's this one? Yeah, fuck it, that's
yeah,
fine.
that one works.
You three look at this thing, and, Fawn, Fawn and Kestrel both, actually, you detect some weird shit coming from this thing. Like, this thing is clearly magic as fuck, but you're not sure what kind of magic it is?
I think this goes without saying. Fawn, don't eat this one. Fawn thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. It looks kind of delicious, right?
Alameda takes out his staff and gives it a fucking hearty poke. And then as soon as he does that, it actually kind of swishes up. And then this way.
It's getting away. Fawn chasing it down like a rabid animal.
Alameda watches it, and it's trying to get around you, Fawn.
Fawn's
so
drooling.
hard right now. Oh, Fawn, he started drooling?
Yeah.
Hold on. It's so hard to see these. Fawn, you almost blink, and it's like, its expression changes, and it like starts backing up a little while you start drooling, and then oh god, you guys have cornered it. It looks between you two, kind of like you get the sense that it's about to have a fucking panic attack.
Fawn is going to roll against greater impulses to not jump on this. Oh, gotta drop, obviously. Ooh, and she lost that rainbow swing.
Yep. Get rid of that.
Let's go for it. Okay. Fawn does not.
Okay, Fawn, here's what happens.
Yeah.
You go to jump at this thing.
Jump
immediately. And like as you jump, you see the craziest expression on this thing. As it fucking hold on. I never connected this one to its character sheet, did I? Give me a sec.
Hold on. I think I know what happens. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what happens in this case. Yeah, we're doing. Oh boy.
What are you doing? Go for it.
We're gonna roll to intercept, yep. Kestrel, in an instant, is just in front of Fawn's face as she dives, and he reels back, grabs Fawn, swings her around, and full body flips her into the sky, where she turns into a slime. And just whirling through the air, he pats this thing on the back. Now's your chance to run if you want to take it.
This thing turns around and looks at you, and you get a little, and it fucking bails.
Fawn eventually flies back down, and Kestrel just catches her in one hand. Okay, now what did I tell you before? Looks down. That's right, no living things. No, that was definitely alive. Come on, don't give me that look.
Oh, am quite certain that was alive. I believe that had sky steel in it.
The two turn and stare back at you. I'm not familiar with that, actually. Please, enlighten me. What is sky steel?
Oh,
Fawn immediately floofs back up to full size. Ultra rare delicacy.
oh, I would never eat sky steel if I were you. If, quite frankly, you might have a massive tree grow out of your stomach or something if you were to do that. Um, he kind of looks at you both. Oh, sky steel's just a living, almost substance from up in the skies. It grows like coral, acts like some sort of very angry sentient being that might eat you if you're not too careful.
Fawn looks over to the side. See, he just said it was living. You can't eat living things. It's rule number 1. He's like bapping Fawn on top of the head. She goes, no, some of it's dead though, and I'll eat some of the dead stuff. Like, you don't eat living meat, right? Do you? Kestrel thinks about that very deeply. You know what? Touche.
Well, the matter if that sky steel in there was alive or not is a subject that I'm not too sure about. But I am pretty certain that had sky steel in it. After all, how else would that thing be running around like that?
Fair enough. I've encountered multiple Lancean exorcists that have bound souls of themselves and others to puppets. It's a grotesque technique that, honestly, I was reminded most clearly of. Looks following the path as this thing runs away, and then looks back to Alameda. You're with the church, right?
Yes.
I have to keep asking that to almost reconfirm it to myself. Kestrel kind of splits into a big smile. You're not like any church priest I've ever encountered.
Oh, and why is that?
You have a knowledge of things such as sky steel, amongst other things, but at the same time, exorcism does not seem to be your focus or forte.
His eyes kind of open a little bit as he like starts walking through like alongside these pillars, almost like back and forth. Well, quite frankly, like I said before, I'm no fighter. Quite frankly, that's why I needed a legent in the first place. After all, like I said before, I'm perfectly weak by myself. So I decided to spend a great portion of my time researching the world. I'm a traveler, you see. Despite my place in the church, I do make a point to make sure to travel around the world. For personally, I feel sticking to just this country alone is a death sentence for us.
I'm going to have to ask you to elaborate on that point. A death sentence? For us? Do you mean the church or just yourself, your legent?
Oh, the church, definitely. I would be fine if I stayed in my cute little hovel. After all, there are scary things out there that might kill me. I think my legend would probably perish if I told them to stay in place, personally. After all, you know, peaks around the corner. The whole governing wandering and all that. Flips back up. But yes, as it is right now, the Church of Rakkus is definitely a dying thing here in Windrose. And I personally feel that mayhap spreading to the rest of the world that we can do some form of good would help us out to some degree, give us some merit in other places.
So you're more a scholar than a traditional priest.
I suppose you could say that, yes.
Your philosophy sounds borderline Raojin.
Maybe. Can't say I've ever been the Raoji yet, though.
Thinking about that, I don't think they'd like you very much over there.
Oh, probably not. Believe it or not, most people don't like me very much. I wonder why.
Fawn takes a step forward. I like you.
Thank you.
Looks back at Kestrel expectantly. What? Looks back at Kestrel expectantly. What do you want from me?
He peeks around Fawn a little.
Fawn
Kestrel.
similarly peeks.
He whispers into Fawn's ear, "Do you think Kestrel likes me?"
Well, She's held a conversation with you for longer than an hour at this point. So, yeah, I think you're pretty special.
Oh, that's nice. What a lovely, lovely thing. Tips back up, takes a few steps out. Anyways, how about we head to our next stop?
Kestrel's face relaxes. Yes, of course. I have to admit, that was not the type of person I was expecting to meet at the entrance to the dungeon.
Yes. Quite frankly, I don't even know if they're from here.
Well, none of us are, so I guess we're in the fellow company of travelers.
You three head a bit to the left from the previous area you were at where you met the mayor. You three keep on heading through. I believe this is an almost miscellaneous district. There are a few places here that are houses, a few places here that are being used for shops, things like that. However, I'm not kind of barren currently, wouldn't you think?
Yes, it'd be the perfect place for a last resort. Fawn hits Kestrel. Ow.
Alameda keeps walking forward. However, none of these buildings are what we are currently aiming to explore just yet. He keeps going forward and forward, and he points at this area right up ahead. This right here is an entrance to another section of the forest.
Hmm. Interesting. I didn't expect a gate here exactly. Kestrel says, turning around.
Yes, I believe he walks forward. They like to have several entrances to the woods. After all, this town really likes to serve for itself, as you may have noticed.
A frustrating insistence, yes.
You three head out into the other woods. Boop.
Oh. Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Big raccoon.
Let me get a good theme for this. Let's see. This one good? Yeah, why not? Wait, no, that's not the one I wanted to use. I know the one I wanted to use. Who, there it is. You three enter the woods, and you keep on walking forward as Alameda goes forward. Well, here comes a bit of a fun adventure. He gestures around. There are three paths before you, almost like a weird, like, dungeon crypt keeper. Which one will you pick? The one, mayhaps one leads towards death. Mayhaps another one leads towards unimaginable riches. Mayhaps the final leads towards your truest love.
Kestrel moves forward. Hey, Fawn, which Fawn turns around. Oh, you found more berries. I think they're peppers.
Oh, those would indeed be peppers.
She collects all of the peppers she can and runs back with an armful of them. Okay, well, we need to pick a path. Which one are we taking? Oh, I get to pick? Yes. I mean, I'm about to deprive you of the pleasure of walking all the way to Indigo. At the very least, you get to choose the adventure for today. Come on, wow me, pick a path. Fawn, like, turns around, head tilts back and forth, takes a bite of pepper while thinking. And then points straight down.
You want to go there? Very well then. Our path has been chosen. Almost like a divine, well, intervention of sorts, we are willed to head down this way. You three head down to this spot. You see like a series of kind of like strange, almost glowing plants sitting over here. There's a bunch of those like little like flares sitting in the air as you all just kind of sit here and inspect. Well, what an interesting spot indeed. Alameda kind of crouches a little bit and looks at these glowy plants.
Fawn is like face first in this one.
Hmm.
Kestrel's just like looking around. Now, I have to ask, are these dangerous?
He thinks to himself, I don't believe so. He almost kind of, like rubs his chin a little. I believe these things, from what I have heard, are just merely luminous, nothing else.
Will they maintain their properties even after they're picked?
I believe so. In fact, I believe that they use that in their runes when they carve their light rune.
Kestrel picks this one, and Fawn.
Kestrel.
Yeah.
What's Fawn doing?
Fawn is just still sniffing and inspecting this one.
Kestrel, as you go to pick this one, almost like as you tug it out of, oh, whoops, that's the wrong layer, I realize. Oops. You go to pick this one, and you pluck it out of the ground, but you realize, man, this is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. In fact, this is a lot more heavy. Then you look down at the roots, and then...
Oh.
Kestrel, you pick this, and a fucking crab is attached to the bottom of this thing, and it fucking goes to snip at you.
Okay, I'm gonna roll to die versus crab.
Oh, you're rolling die versus crab? Okay, I'm gonna just give a random roll to do, because I haven't, like...
Yeah, you haven't statted crab.
I have not statted the crabs. 1d20, and I'll give them a +2, because crab claw.
Crab claw.
Plus 1d6 for their swing.
Oh,
you beat it.
but yeah, I beat it. Kestrel is going to. Kestrel like picks the thing up and it tries to snip at him, and he like looks down at it, like it gets this almost frustrated look on his face, and then just like whirls around, pulls out a knife, detaches the plant from the top, and then just punts this crab over the tree line.
Roll to do for punting.
Time to punt a crab.
Alright, I'm gonna roll to die for crab. 3d6 plus my nose. Plus 2 plus 1d6. 1d6. You cut this off, and the crab just over here and then disappears into the woods. And Kestrel, you obtained the plant. Good job. Hey, Fawn.
Yeah.
You kind of notice that the plant that you're sitting on top of begins to kind of shuffle and shake in a lot of ways. And then Kestrel, you look around too, and you realize you're surrounded with crabs. And the crabs all raise their claws in the air in defiance, snipping at you with an intense amount of fucking, like, vinegar.
Kestrel isn't gonna try to fight. He's gonna try to grab Fawn, carry her under one arm, and book it.
Sure, I'll play the tough battle theme. You are surrounded by crabs. Roll to book it.
Okay, time to roll to book it. Is that a roll to do or a roll to die in this case?
That'll be a roll to die, because the crabs are gonna try to stop you.
Okay. Oh, nice.
You have to roll die twice because there's gonna be 2 crabs in your path.
Okay, additional crab.
Roll 1d20 plus 2
Swap to
plus
this.
1d6.
Okay.
Yeah, you easily get past the first crab.
And then for the second crab, I swap to white off of that roll to die, so we're gonna clash.
Oh, you're gonna clash.
Yeah.
Crab. Plus 2 plus 1d6.
Yeah! So
Kestrel, you going past
the first one, yeah. The first one, he just grabs Fawn and starts to book it this way, and then tries to punt this crab, and then loses.
Into Alameda.
And then he loses the clash. You tell me what happens.
So what happens? You go to punt this crab, and then the crab, almost like a samurai, catching a blade betwixt their 2 hands, catches your foot between its claw, and it just kind of is down on your on your foot. It hurts a lot. It's like ow, ow. You take 6 damage from that, I believe.
Ow!
And the crab kind of, and this crab is going to like roll to attack you again.
Okay.
So you're gonna clash again,
Yeah.
Crystal and White.
Oh, same roll.
1d20 plus 2 plus 1d6.
Yeah!
Crab. Okay, I know exactly what happens here. This crab pinched your foot, and you're like, ow, fuck, shit. And then this crab just, from behind, it goes, and as you swing your foot back to retaliate, it grabs your foot from behind and snips at you. And you take more damage again. This time you take 10.
Kestrel yelps and pops up into the air. And then Fawn goes, don't worry, I know exactly what to do. And Fawn is going to use her mimetic recall. She is going to assume the shape of that armor that Zangief body slammed Kestrel yesterday.
Oh boy, okay. Let me grab that for you. Okay. Alright, what are you doing with them? I'll give you this, I'll give you legs.
She is forming up and around Kestrel as a crab-proof bodysuit.
Alright, let me give you legs on this thing. Can be controlled by Jay. Alright, fucking go for it. You can roll to die with it and everything.
Yeah, she's just gonna form around Kestrel, and then the pair are going to just walk in this direction to the best of their ability.
You're going to have to roll against that crab you're walking past.
Okay, it's time. This would be Fawn's roll today. Yes.
Roll 1d20 plus 2 plus 1d6. It beats Fawn.
Fawn!
Those shoes, they're just bigger now.
Fawn starts crying as she is pinched repeatedly.
These crabs are a fucking menace. Alameda kind of sits here and just goes, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, he, Alameda actually, like, walks this way and, takes a, deep breath, and, what the fuck? Why is he... For some reason, my characters keep on getting disconnected from their character sheet, and I don't know why.
Huh.
I'm not sure why that's the case or why that keeps happening, but whatever. He's going to roll to die. He's going to lock in his red.
Oh.
And he is going to ring-a-ding-ding his bell staff. Pretty good. Alright, and now I'm going to roll to die for the horde of crabs. Roll 3d6 plus 2 plus 1d6. It beats him. So, all at once, all these crabs around here immediately turn and look at Alameda, and they just and Kestrel and Fawn, it's weird. You feel like a wave almost rush over you two at once. Almost like for an instant, it's like a wave of frustration. And then immediately it dissipates like within an actual second as these crabs begin to bear down upon Alameda. And he begins to just kind of sit here like, okay, now you two, I got you out of that, and get me out of here.
You hear Kestrel say something from within the big suit of armor. It bounces around and is completely unintelligible. And you hear Fawn, as the suit of armor, don't say that, he saved us. Kestrel, in the suit of armor, is going to whirl around and attempt to punt this crab.
Go for it, punt.
Time to roll. Hold on, let's go. Doink, doink. Okay, we're gonna roll to do versus their roll to die. Let's do this. God!
Oh my god, these fucking crabs. 2 plus 1d6. You go to punt the crab, Kestrel, and it just turns around and goes to pinch you again. Kestrel roll to die.
In this case, it'd be Fawn, since she's the suit. Oh!
Oh, Fawn.
Fawn rolled bad. Hold on, wait. Fawn rolled bad! 13.
Hey!
Hey!
This crab goes to pinch, but yet Fawn, you go, nay, I shall not be pinched again today. As the crab goes to pinch, you swiftly reel your big armored foot back. You can go for another kicky now.
Oh
two-ish.
boy, yes. Fawn is going to actually reach down and try to grab the crab with one hand. Roll to die versus that.
Alright, let's roll 3d6. Plus, whoops, that's not plus, plus 2, plus 1d6.
Okay. She picks this one up and using her ability, gripping food with force, picks it up and one of her arms starts to elongate and it swings down in this direction and she's gonna try to sweep it like a golf club through all these three and then
Oh, boy.
as she gets it to the terminating point, release this crab so it goes flying over the tree line. So let's do.
Alright, I'm just gonna copy and paste this one a few times.
Yes.
Alright.
Miss.
First one, you miss. Second one, you
Miss!
miss. And the last one,
Okay, that's
you
a hit.
you hit the last one. Okay, so you take this crab and you swing it around, and then it just kind of passes over this one, and then it passes over this one. Then it slams into this one. This one goes flying off back into the foliage. And I'll say the one you grabbed too is out of commission as well, as it kind of scuttles away.
Okay, it's their go.
The crabs are going to bear down upon Alameda.
Ah, yes.
They're all gonna roll for their pinchies. I'm gonna say this is all the same roll. Do it 3 fucking times. 20 plus 2 plus 1d6. Fucks up these crabs. Okay. And Almeda's gonna roll to die. Hey! He beats it. So these crabs go to like pinchy at Alameda. And like as they get closer, he kind of just like sees one go for the pinch. And he holds out that bag of salt that he used before and fucking pocket sands these crabs with some salt and then runs through them. Goes, okay, let us run now. Oh boy, okay, let's go. As the three of you head forward.
The gigantic form eventually slows down, turning back into Fawn as she scoots behind. All of you have pinched knees.
Yeah. Oh god, crabs. You guys end back up at this spot.
What was that you said before we made a turn? Certain death would be around one of our corners.
Yes, it would appear that was certain death. But do you know what that means? The other two must be absolutely excellent.
What's the next? The love of my life?
Oh, maybe. How about we go and see with our own 2 eyes?
Kestrel, strides forward. Despite getting beaten up a little bit, Kestrel's blood is up, and she's going for it. She's excited.
Those crabs, get the fuck out of here.
The crabs did not fuck around.
Alright, you guys head into the next section of the woods. A path continues down this way as you three keep heading down. Well, look around here. There's some more wildlife. You would see a deer kind of grazing on the side. It's actually munching on these blowy mushrooms.
Okay, Fawn. I got to talk to the last animal. Do you want to do this one? Okay.
Fawn, you approach the deer. Fawn, roll for approaching deer.
Roll for approaching deer.
The deer will roll to die. Roll 3d6. And I'll give this deer a +1 because it's a fucking deer. +1. Hey! Fawn. You walk up to the deer and it notices you, but it actually doesn't run like most deer would. You just see it and it kind of sniffs at your hand.
Fawn just smiles back at the deer, gets a big, energetic expression. Huh. The animals around here have to be special. Usually they're terrified of her.
Mayhaps it's due to just the inherent magic properties of this place.
Maybe. Maybe Fawn herself is changing. Kestrel wanders forward and approaches the deer. I'm going to roll to approach deer.
Okay. You have
This
to
is
roll
a
the deer.
clash.
A clash. All right. 1d20 plus 1 plus 1d6. Let's see. Oh man. So Kestrel, you see the deer seems like almost spooked for a second. The fawn kind of waves her hand a little bit, which then manages to calm it back down as you approach the deer successfully, and it kind of just stares at you.
Using my clash, I am going to pet the deer. A true success on approaching a wild animal.
You reach out your hand to pet the deer, and it looks pretty cautious at first, but then when your hand reaches and starts petting it, it seems to almost calm down a little, and it almost does that like dog thing whenever you scratch behind the ear, where it like kind of tilts its head a little, you know?
The animals are really docile around here. Fawn, like, looks up to Kestrel. Animals generally like you, though. I guess. I mean, if you decide to like them. What's that supposed to mean? I saw you growl at that squirrel. Kestrel, a little flummoxed, just moves back over and, like, leans on Fawn's head. Come on, let's get going. You can't take this one with us.
The deer kind of as you guys begin to kind of retreats back into the woods, and Alameda follows behind you, and he kind of whispers over, who knows, in this next spot you might be able to meet the love of your life, unless you already have in the form of that deer.
I sincerely hope you're talking to neither of us and are instead posing this question for the winds or something.
Never know. I'm a mysterious fella, after all. You three head to the next section of the woods.
Oh, big mushroom.
You three head in, and Alameda kind of walks ahead. Oh, would you look at that? There's a very large mushroom creature sitting upon a rock.
That is a tremendously large mushroom. Well, there haven't been any requests to deal with this, so I can hope at the very least it's not hostile. Fawn sort of starts to move in, and then scoots around the outside. Fawn, did these look like containment obelisks, or are they just here? Presses face to side of them.
Give me a roll to die.
Okay. There we go.
Okay. So, Fawn, upon looking at them, it's weird. It almost feels like these exist for like not containment, but they almost seemed like they act as like a connector to each other of sorts. The best way you'd be able to figure it out is that these probably, after doing some tampering with one another, would probably activate something somewhere.
She takes a step backwards and relays that information to Kestrel, and Kestrel just looks at this and goes, huh. Well, normally this is the part where I'd register this thing's existence with the people of the town, but it looks like they're already perfectly aware of that. Plus, the mayor himself said that he's not exactly interested in outsiders interfering with issues here. I guess I'll just have to leave this as a Prish-only problem, he says, shrugging.
Yes, Alameda actually steps within the circle and kind of walks up to the thing. You know, it doesn't seem to be hostile whatsoever. I haven't gotten punched yet.
You have either quite the spine on you or a complete lack of common sense.
The big mushroom creature, its head almost like kind of like tilts and looks at you three, and then its head returns to the place it was looking before, and you just kind of hear a brr.
Do you make a habit of approaching gigantic creatures?
Oh no, not at all. I only approach the ones that look like they won't kill me within 3 seconds.
Oh, so you're a good judge of those things.
Possibly. Haven't seen too many in my day.
They both look up at the gigantic mushroom. So, what's your read on this one?
He looks up at it. I'm actually gonna roll the die for him. Ooh.
That's pretty good.
He's gonna lock in his blue. Seems like it's bored and lonely.
Why don't you keep it company then? This could be the love of your life.
Oh, that's very flattering of you to say. He kind of like walks up and like pats this thing on its big fucking giant mushroom stomach, and you just kind of hear a brr coming from it. And in a weird instant, Kestrel and Fawn, you almost feel like a like slight energy actually radiate out of Alameda for a second, where he kind of sort of just you kind of feel this sort of like irradiating energy from him, almost like a warmth of sort, is the best way I can describe it.
Hmm.
And you can kind of see the mushroom creature kind of like almost tilt a little and look at him, and then it kind of just and gets up and starts like walking off a little. Oh, there it goes. What a nice fella.
What did you do to it?
I just gave it a pat on the stomach.
No, there was something else happening there.
Well, it's not much different than what I did for you two when we were battling the shades. He walks up and actually boops you on the nose, Kestrel. Kestrel, you sent somewhere that Alameda had just bonded up with that mushroom creature.
So, you do that through physical contact then?
Sometimes. Physical contact's not 100% necessary when I can use words. But that thing can't speak our language.
Deep consideration for a moment. I shouldn't have caught him.
Alameda scoots up close to Kestrel. Oh, come on now, don't be embarrassed. You gotta admit he must have been at least a little happy to catch me.
He thinks about that so deeply. I'm gonna roll to die. Yeah, that'll, okay, both of those are even. I'm gonna roll again. Oh, boy, Kestrel's expression shifts and almost equally in tone with Alameda. Who can say? I certainly wouldn't tell you in that case.
I guess that might be why I find you so attractive. Walks past you.
Well, I'm at least glad you have eyes in your head.
You three return off to the next section of the woods. I'll return you to the initial starting point.
Excellent.
Eh.
Fawn is just traveling behind the two of you with the smile. What? Why are you giving me that look? Why are you smiling? It's kind of funny. What do you mean? You two are kind of similar in a lot of ways. No, seriously, what do you mean by that? Very serious expression. Oh, how do I put this? You're hidden behind a veil of mist. Also, I'm drawn to both of you. Kestrel just walks forward like, yeah, except unlike him, I don't have any strange magic obfuscating my form. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like here. She pokes at Kestrel's chest. Hey, stop. No, quit that. No, we aren't talking about the harder emotions right now. I completely refuse. We're gonna have to eventually. Yes, not right now, not while we're in company. Motions to Alameda.
You three head off to the final section of the woods.
Oh.
Oh, would you look at this? He walks up. What an interesting discovery. Mayhaps if the path to the south was death and the path to the left was, well, love, mayhaps this one is treasure.
Fawn approaches very rapidly. Tap, 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 tap.
You're poking this thing?
Yeah.
You're poking this thing, Fawn. It's kind of interesting. Every time you poke one of these parts that are jutting out of it, it almost goes inside for a second, and then retracts outwards.
Oh. Oh, if only there were 4 of us.
Yes. Actually, he looks over at Fawn. I noticed you have the capabilities to change your shape.
Oh, yeah, I could try to hold 2 at the same time.
Excellent, excellent. What do you say? He looks over at Kestrel.
I'm by principle against releasing objects like this, but he looks over. Both of you have already assumed the position around switches. It could release a giant monster, or there could be an artifact inside that's better. Fine.
All right. You four go and begin to kind of push in a little, and you push in, and as you push in further, it kind of gets like more and more of a sort of like, how do I tension to it
Yeah.
as you begin to continue pushing in and pushing in. And eventually, you're all 4 of you with your combined strengths are able to push this obelisk all the way in. And Fawn and Kestrel, both of you rolled a die for me.
Ah, excellent. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, that's really good.
Okay, let me find some music for this really quick. So, it kind of occurs to you, like, what exactly was causing that tension within the object as you begin pushing it more in and more in, and then you look up and you realize you weren't pushing in, you were squeezing out. As sure, I'll play Alameda's battle theme, why not? Right above you, sitting above the thing, is a golden slime. Oh my! Alameda takes it. Alameda takes a step back.
And this is exactly why we don't go pushing on random objects. I hope you're more than happy. Kestrel says, looking at Alameda and Fawn. Fawn glitters. Yeah, I am happy. That was fun. Look, it's free now.
The golden slime kind of just rolls off onto the ground and kind of begins like bouncing around a little between Fawn and Alameda. And it's actually going to roll directly at Fawn. Roll to dive. Actually, will this be a clash? Okay, so Flat, I'm gonna tell you, this thing has a gold stat. It's one stat, it is a gold stat.
Ooh.
I don't know if that clashes with your orange, though.
I'd say it does.
Okay. 1d20 plus 5. I didn't set up character sheet for this one, so we'll do.
Fawn.
Oh, Fawn. Fawn, this thing just completely tramples over you, and you get fucking stuck in its mass. Take 10 damage from that. You are stuck to this thing now, as you both roll around a little, and it starts rolling more and more. It's gonna pass a turn to Kestrel, actually.
Kestrel just sighs, and yeah, they're gonna do that and take a step. She takes a step backwards, sees this happening, and pulls out like this long blade, which is I don't know if you know what a pudao is, but it's like it's like a polearm basically, and she's gonna reach back, take aim, and just be like, okay, before this gets serious. And she's gonna run forward and try to slice Fawn off of this creature. This will be another clash.
Again.
Okay, we got.
Oh no.
This bonus.
Okay.
You roll like fire. That is actually a 10 when using the blade. So that is a 22 10? For me.
A 22, gotcha.
Yes.
Plus 1d6 for attribute bonus. I did not bother saying anything's character sheet because it only has one, but hindsight I should have.
It's fine.
So this thing goes to roll at you, Kestrel, and you slice right into it, knocking Fawn free immediately. And you see Fawn kind of roll back around the ground, and you look back at this thing, and it's interesting. It has split into 2 smaller pieces.
Hold on. Fawn, can you... He, like, grips Fawn, looking her dead in the eyes. Can you assume the form of, what was it? The bounty book for dangerous creatures for Northern Windrose. Fawn nods once, and assumes the shape of a goopy book, and Kestrel starts to flip through it page by page. Golden slime, golden slime, golden slime. Looking down at it, her eyes start to glitter. These things are incredibly valuable. Looks down at Fawn. Okay, turn back. She shifts back into the form of a normal slime, sort of gripping Fawn. I take it all back. This was a brilliant idea. We have to bag ourselves some slimes.
Alameda from over here. See, I told you, treasure. See?
Hey, Alameda.
Yeah.
Toss me that bag of salt you have.
But didn't you have your own?
Yes, I'm going to use up both of them.
Okay. He walks over and tosses you a bag of salt.
Kestrel grabs the bag of salt, and if I'm allowed to do another thing, let me know. Otherwise,
Go
let
for
the
it.
okay. So what Kestrel's gonna do is try to cut in this way and dash back in this direction, and then back this way, and draw a complete salt circle around this one.
Okay. Give me a roll to do for that.
Roll to do. This will be another clash.
Yep.
For the speed. That's much better.
Nice. You kind of notice this one's actually pretty like weaker than the one larger one in whole. What the fuck? How did that happen 2 times in a row? It's the same
Every
number. Whoa.
single slime person has rolled a crit fail in this combat.
You put the salt around this thing, and it kind of like it seems almost enamored by it. It like starts going around and soaking it up in this spot.
Excellent. And then Kestrel's going to run over to Alameda,
Okay.
bringing the slime with it.
The slime begins to roll and follow. All right. What do you...
Basically, what Kestrel's gonna do is hand Alameda half of basically like a canvas bag and go, okay, now we're gonna catch this thing. You ready?
Oh, okay.
And Kestrel's gonna do something first, though.
Yeah.
He's gonna reach over and boot Alameda in this direction, making an attack against him.
All right. I've already rolled the dive.
I have a plan.
I'm gonna lock in yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, you hit him.
I hit him in this direction. My goal with this attack wasn't to damage Alameda. It was to lock out one of his dice. I'm gonna lock out his purple so he can't fuck us.
Oh, you're locking out his purple. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock out his
interesting.
purple.
Kestrel and Fawn, as soon as you lock out his purple, you feel like that bonus that you guys get from having his bond immediately disappears. It's gone.
That's fine. I don't need someone magic right now. I just need someone to hold the bag. Come on, Alameda.
Okay. And he helps you with the thing. You're both going to clash with this thing.
Yes.
Alameda's going to roll to do.
Yes.
And this thing is going to roll to do versus you.
Yes.
1d20 plus 3 plus 1d6.
No.
Okay, so here's what happens. Kestrel, you try to bag this thing, and it's weird. It's like, you're like, should have read deeper into that book about gold slimes. Gold slimes have a unique property to them. They can almost morph themselves and harden parts of their body in response to something. This thing fucking makes a pillar of gold and fucking punts you in the face with it. But while you're getting hit, Alameda's able to roll around and bag it, and he's kind of sitting there holding it closed, and he's like, okay, what am I supposed to do now? As it's like wriggling and whirring in this bag.
Fawn runs up and immediately assumes her normal form, and then Fawn is going to turn into the most useful thing, and the only thing I had on this list going into this adventure. Fawn is going to turn into a wheelbarrow.
All right, fun.
Kerchunk!
You turn into a wheelbarrow. I don't have an asset for that on
That's
hand.
fine. It just
Wait, hold. I know where I can get one though. Hold on. There's one in town 1. Boop. Copy. Oh, go down to this one. Boop. And then Karchunk. The fawn barrow has appeared, and I'm assuming it rolls under the golden.
Oh
slime.
yeah, you place the bag on top of it, and then Kestrel, who is like getting up from a smashed face, jumps, grabs the end of the fawn wheelbarrow, and goes, "Come on, Alameda, pull!"
Okay, you two are gonna pull. This one's gonna come up and try to attack you two.
Makes sense. Okay.
Alright, roll to do. This is another class for both of you.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh god, first I'm gonna roll for Alameda.
Oh god.
1d20 plus
I should
3
get the
plus
wheelbarrow
1d6. I'm just gonna
prepared
copy
well.
and paste this so I don't have to keep on doing it every time.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, so here's what happens here. You both try to pull this wheelbarrow, and this thing fucking just boulder rolls, impacting Alameda, and Alameda impacts you, and you both, like a fucking dumb parade, land on top of each other over here in the corner.
Meanwhile, Fauna's going to, as this thing rolls past, just try to wheel herself and run off, maybe even trampling the slime in response.
Alright, then give me a roll to do.
Let's see if all 3 of them turn into a pile on the ground. Yes! Yes!
Fun, you try to, and this thing, as you try to wheel it, it just hardens itself and fucking smacks you as the wheelbarrow goes fucking flying on top of Alameda and Kestrel, and the sack full of slime just punts itself on the ground, and Alameda kind of laying next to Kestrel turns. So, any other part of your plan here?
Kestrel just mumbling. I thought we... Why didn't that... Hold on, this is upsetting.
How about a fun idea from your good pal Alameda, who recently got oh so rudely kicked? If you haven't noticed, these things have been hitting slightly less hard since we made them smaller.
Yes.
Maybe we should cut them into smaller sections until we can handle them.
But then they'd be worth less money.
So then bag more of them. Maybe you can mash them back together.
I only have the one bag, though. Kestrel's just like looking down at this. Actually, I've got an idea.
Oh.
He hops up and grabs the bag of salt. And then runs in this direction with it.
Are you leaving a salt trail behind
Yeah.
you? Okay. The one that is not currently bagged is going to start following you. It starts heading this way, following you. The one in the bag is going to try to break out right now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Give me a roll to do for Kestrel's bag.
For the bag, roll to do. Holy shit!
This thing, like a fucking pile of spikes. It hardens itself and turns into just a ball of spikes, and it completely shreds your very nice bag. And then it pops out like a fucking spiked boulder, and Alameda sees that and kind of starts sweating a little.
Fun is gonna turn back from a wheelbarrow, grab Alameda, and start running.
Oh boy, all 3 of you start running in this direction as the slime back there begins to like kind of roll off into the woods.
Oh my god. This fucking wagon train continues on.
Oh boy. Alright, stand still so I can copy paste you guys. Oh my goodness. Let me delete the old ones over here before I bring you over. Alright. So, you 3 arrive back here and running. Oh fuck, they're off screen. Hold on, let me delete these so I don't have to worry about this later. Boo. As you guys running, this raccoon back here gets startled and it runs back into the woods.
Kestrel's going to keep sprinting in this direction.
All right, you keep going.
Up
You're
the
gonna have to
swing.
give me a roll to do to keep this thing interested in you.
Ooh, okay. Let's do this one actually.
Okay, in this case, it will not clash with your roll to do.
Okay, so it's going to. Kestrel's going to do this.
Pretty good.
Pretty middling.
Not
good enough.
though.
It stops. It loses interest.
It loses interest. Like you're trying to kite a monster in Monster Hunter into the trap. It turns around, sees Fawn, and it initiates trample mode, trying to hit Fawn. It's going to go hit at Fawn. You can drop Fawn's swing, roll a die to lock something into if you want to.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, we can do pink.
Okay, this thing is going to roll to try to trample you.
Fawn
Okay.
stops it.
You stop it in its tracks, and Alameda, running by, kind of sighs and then pulls out his own bag of salt and goes, "Okay, very well," and then throws like a pocket sand of salt at this thing's eyes, and then keeps running this way, leaving a trail behind him. He's going to roll the die, then roll the do to get this thing's attention. Yeah, he's gonna lock in his yellow stat, and he's going to roll the do.
We
Alright.
cannot roll above a 4.
All right, and this thing is going to clash with him.
Oh, how does Alameda get trampled?
So this thing, Alameda throws salt at it and goes, "It will clearly follow me." This thing, being getting everything thrown at it, fucking projectile spits a hardened piece of gold at Alameda, fucking bapping him in the back of the face as he fucking starts dragging along the ground a little, like some kind of Orga Itsuka. Fawn, you can try to push it forward.
Fawn, seeing this thing, is going to try to turn into a wheelbarrow again and shove.
Okay. I'm not gonna drop the wheelbarrow on.
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
fine. So roll to die versus this.
You got it. 86 plus 3. You beat it. Okay, so you managed to scoop it up as you drag this thing along with you. Keep on going. Alameda quickly gets up and kind of repositions himself and jumps out of the way as you start dragging this thing farther and farther back into town.
Yes.
Oh god, okay, all right. You're going into the residential district.
Kestrel's big plan here is to, he's got to make it to the inn.
I'm gonna delete these ones and put the actual ones here.
Yeah.
You all through dragging this thing further and further. So, Kestrel, your plan is to make it to the inn, you said.
Yes.
As you keep on walking, you hear a very loud stomp, stomp, as from over here, you see him kind of walking by. You guys still pushing this fucking slime along in a cart. Anton watches the three of you move by with this fucking slime, and he goes, "What are you three doing?"
I'm dealing with a very dangerous monster right now. Please, out of the way.
He watches you three go by, and then Alameda quickly runs past, and as you three go by, Anton watches and goes, "Well, Ricky's gonna be pissed about this one." And then you guys keep on going and going, and I'm gonna make you roll to do really quick to keep it in the cart.
Okay, let's.
As you move it, because I'm gonna flat out tell you, this place up here does lead to the next spot. There are stairs in between the here and there. So I'm gonna make you roll to do to go against the stairs as this thing rolls to die against you. Tess, you can help.
Kestrel's gonna start shoving.
All right, roll 3d6, And I'm just gonna add the +3 in my head so I don't type it in. Okay, Fawn, your wheelbarrow self kind of starts struggling a little bit, but Kess comes up from behind and kind of braces you a bit, and you're both able to keep this wagon train going as you go up, despite everything, climbing the most dastardly villain of all, the stairs.
Kestrel is, as we climb the stairs, Kestrel's going to stop with Alameda and go, I'm trusting you with the most important task right now.
Oh.
If this succeeds, we can split the bounty on this creature 50-50.
Okay, I'm listening.
I need you to distract it for the next few moments while I run to my room. Can you do that?
Okay. I'm gonna say 2 or 3 rounds of
Alameda's got to do his clown dance to keep this thing from.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take you guys to Town 1 really quick. I'm gonna say this happens outside because there's not enough room to do this in the end.
Of course.
Delete these ones are old. You 3 appear over here, and you're still wagoning this thing forward. You 3 are going up, and Kestrel, you stopped the Fawn wagon right in the middle of the street, and this guy goes, no, not dealing with that one, and then fucking leaves. And honestly, like, a lot of the crowds are in the back, because it is getting later in the day.
Yeah.
The street's fucking empty right now.
Kestrel's gonna fuck off and go to their room right now.
Yep, you go to the room. Fawn, you're still in a wagon form?
Fawn is going to de-wagon and touch down and get into like a defensive, like, goalie posture. Okay, Alameda, it's you and me. We just gotta keep it occupied.
Oh, yes, I'm sure this will go excellently. Alright, I'm gonna say this is a 3-round thing.
Yeah.
Everybody drop and roll the die.
There we go. Oh, I clicked unlock purple.
He's gonna swap to his blue.
Let's see.
Okay. And, oh, you unlock my purple?
Yeah.
Unlock it again. Because this will be locked for a while now. Alright, this thing is, I'm gonna go on and say this thing starts attacking you guys first.
Yes.
It is going to go for a swing at Fawn, because she is closest. Roll the die versus that.
Oh, wait, I can beat that. Hold on.
Can?
Yeah, I can swap to my orange.
Oh, nice. If it's swapping to orange, do we clash then?
No, because the swap happens after the fact, which is like the
okay,
forward thing.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly.
Okay, so you're almost hit as this thing sends out a hardened pillar of gold directly at you, and you quickly step out of the way as it kind of like its own weight makes it pull past a little. And Alameda kind of stands up here a little bit. Goes, okay, how about we do something to slow it down a little? He has locked in his blue, and he holds his staff out and actually kind of plunges the bells into the slime itself, and he starts ringing the bells inside of the slime. He's going to roll to do.
Oh.
And this thing is going to roll to die. Let's roll 3d6 plus 3.
Oh.
It beats him. So here's what happens. Alameda starts fun. You almost feel an almost magic aura beginning to emanate once again. And then this thing just kind of squidges out of Alameda's staff again. Alright, that is the end of that round. And you notice it is starting to move in the direction of the river over here.
I see.
Alright, everybody drop and roll the die again.
Let's do...
Alright, Alameda will lock in yellow, sure, why not?
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen with both of us clashing with
Yeah.
it?
Fawn, you go first this
Okay,
time.
Fawn's goal isn't to damage it at all, because she does want to keep it the size that it is right now.
Mhm.
If it divides more, some of it'll get away. So her goal, simply put, is going to be to try to contain it once more. So here we go. No damage, just pure containment. God, God fucking damn.
Alright, you guys, oh, it beats you by 1.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. Fawn, you tried to, what were you trying to do to it?
Basically just like, she was trying to like smush it into the wall.
Okay, what happens here is you try to smush it into the wall, you do begin to back it up more, but as it kind of starts going into here, it then re-hardens itself and just gives you a solid push forward as you get pushed back here, and it kind of rolls itself a bit here. Who are you going to pass it to?
Alameda, it's all you.
Okay. Alameda pulls out his staff and kind of has to think to himself for a little bit. And he gets a dumb idea. He walks over and goes, "Hey, it's okay if I grab you for a second."
Yeah, of course.
He picks you up and like starts dragging you this way. So tell me, can you possibly increase your weight?
Yeah. Why is that?
He says, "I am going to have you land on the handles of the wheelbarrow and fling a box at him."
Oh boy, you're gonna fling Fawn in the air and have her do that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Alameda tosses Fawn directly upwards, and Fawn begins to grow and enlarge, and as she goes to land on the handle of the wheelbarrow, he is going to roll to do, and I'm going to give a challenge versus this.
Uh-huh.
All right, and I'm going to roll this is a 3d6 challenge. I don't think this is a hard one. This is just physics.
Yeah.
Okay, this wheelbarrow, kind of starts flinging itself forward directly at the slime, impacting it, driving it backwards some more over here at the intersection.
Excellent.
Hey, we got it drive back a little. Isn't that good, Fawn?
Fawn flips back up and shifts back to a normal size. Yeah, we did great.
And then this thing, seeing that it just got fucking wheelbarrowed, completely hardens its entire outside and is going to do a special attack to try to hit both Alameda and Fawn at the same time with a massive boulder. This is going to be a clash.
Of course.
Hey, that's good, Fawn.
That's good.
All right, only roll a 10.
Okay.
Okay, you both beat it. All right, so it begins to roll at the both of you, but then you both stand up here and you both brace yourself against this box, keeping it from smashing through. You hear the box creak and crack as it continues to put more and more weight against you. All right, that's the end of round. Everybody drop swing for the final
round.
Yeah, sure, I'll do his red. Why not?
Yeah, let's do pink again. That's fine.
Okay. You go again first, Fawn.
Okay, Fawn is going to sort of like lurch around, and what she's going to do is she's gonna grab Alameda's staff, and this time is going to guide it with him around the outside and try to force it into the creature to do what he was doing before.
You guys are going to do a dual tech?
Yes.
So in this case, you're both going to roll to do at the same time versus its roll to die.
Okay. Oh, good.
Pretty decent.
Pretty solid, honestly.
6 plus 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys manage. You with your powers combined, you reach around and you're able to kind of wedge it in between this, and you scoot the box forward, creating a wedge that it cannot escape from. You both move forward and start pressing against it. And in this instance, it is going to try to roll to get out of it.
Okay.
All right, and in this case, both of you are going to roll to die to keep it from moving.
Okay, Fawn does not succeed.
Alameda does, however.
Oh.
Fawn, while you do begin to kind of fall, but have transforming so much as kind of put a weight a little bit on you, making you a little tired. Alameda, despite being the weakest man alive, pushes and fucking pushes, keeping this in place. And around that time, Kestrel, you re-emerge from your in-room.
She rushes out and she's carrying the ice box that she transports with her. It's this gigantic thing meant primarily to preserve the remains of creatures. And she's gonna sprint up and yell, "Okay, everyone, help me get this around that!"
Okay, Alameda. It's gonna be start of a new round.
Okay. Oh, exciting.
Alameda's gonna lock in. He's yellow.
Oh, yeah, everybody go yellow. It's a series of
All
clashes.
of you are going to clash.
It's
All
a
right,
series of clashes. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, Alameda.
Oh, Kestrel.
Kestrel did good. Fawn, maybe we'll do.
Fawn, no.
Okay. I'm gonna roll to do
slime.
3 times.
Yeah.
First for Alameda.
Oh.
It punts Alameda, and Alameda actually takes a wound. Alameda's gonna wound his red stat. And Then it's going to go for
Kestrel.
Kestrel. Oh my
Kestrel
god!
also takes a wound!
Kestrel, what happens? You bring up the icebox, and then, like a fucking series of dynamic fist punches, almost like a JoJo, you get fucking pounded by this thing over and over for a lot of damage, actually. That's
Kestrel.
18 damage. No, that's more. It's 9, double because of the clash.
Yes.
Doubled again because of the crit. So, oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's 18, which is enough. It's still enough. Kestrel just thunks back on the ground and finally Fawn.
Fun. Oh, Fawn. Let's see you two. Okay. Hey,
Fawn wins! These two morons go flying in either direction and Fawn just snaps it over on top of the slime.
Yeah, you just go up and you just right in, and you feel it struggle for a little bit, but as the colds begin to impact it more and more, it begins to slow down and eventually chill.
It's a tight fit, but we got it. Guys? Guys?
Alameda stands up, clutching his chest. Oh, well, that hurt a lot.
That was remarkably painful. I'm starting to understand why the bounty on them is so high.
Alameda kind of slumps and crouches a little bit.
What?
Against the fucking pole.
Well, I'm sure we could probably sell this somewhere for a good amount of money. Yeah, I'm positive about that, but Kestrel actually, like, looks over at Alameda, who is similarly, like, fucking doubled over.
Oh, what's so funny? Finding intense amounts of joy, pain.
He like slumps over along the railing. I'm just curious what. It's a funny thing. Two people like us going to such lengths to capture a creature like this. It's a farce in itself. Look at the way we're dressed.
Oh, yes. He sits here. So, he looks at him. What brought you to fight such a deadly, dastardly creature? Was it the reward at the end of the third path?
Frankly, yes. First and foremost, I was interested in the money that this thing will provide to me. But at a certain point, I have to admit I was enjoying the thrill of the hunt a little bit more than that. I set my own rules and I wanted to capture as much of this thing as physically possible. I realized, with it divided in half, I could carry, likely, its entire form within my icebox and sell it somewhere along the way. Taps the icebox on the side. These things are actually crucial in a bunch of alchemy, medicinal things. He's like cracking and checking his shoulder. But at the same time, I have to admit I lost myself. I have a certain image to keep up, and I toss that aside for the thrill of a hunt.
Oh, I was about to say, did you lose yourself when you decided to kick the magic out of me?
Sort of like looks over and keeps smiling at you. Yes. Actually, in that moment, I thought we stood our best chance if I managed to, do something to make you participate to the same degree that I was. He sort of, like, slumps back and, like, rests up against the fence.
He kind of just gives, like, a kind of almost menace-ish smile at you. It was, oh, yes, I'll admit, I'm partially peeved about the fact that you decided to kick the magic out of me midway through. Who knows, maybe we would be able to catch the whole thing if we had the entire thing, but you know what? All's well that ends well, right?
He waves his hand. If I was going to be running around making a fool of myself, I insist that other people come with me.
He sits there. Now, if only there was a way someone could make it up to me for kicking the magic out of me for an entire few minutes. I wonder what a good way of that could be.
What? I already said I was splitting 50% of the reward with you. What else do you want?
I don't know. Maybe buy me dinner or something. Maybe a kiss on the cheek would be nice.
Dinner is fine.
He kind of leans back and looks over at Fawn. Though I got to admit, the two of us little doofuses over here are almost completely useless compared to you, it seems like.
Fawn looks around and kind of nods, and Kestrel like sighs. No, don't start putting ideas like that in her head. He sort of hops.
Oh no.
He sort of
Oh,
hops
God,
up. Uh, listen, no one here is useless. Not me, not her. I mean, if you'd called Fawn useless, I would have called off dinner immediately. Cross his legs. And especially not you.
he sighs a bit. I figured at this point it's no use for me to try to explain to you my whole useless argument. Stands up.
He gestures with his hand. Uselessness provided by magic is something that I can't exactly wrap my head around because I am a non-magic fool, as people put it. If you're cursed by some sort of deity or magic was granted to you that makes you completely useless, it turns out all it takes is a boot in the ass to make you useful. He sort of smiles at you.
He kind of sighs a little. Oh well, he goes. He kind of like creaks himself a little, readjusting. You're almost a pop in his back from him readjusting his fucking spine after getting wailed on. And boop, let me find the button. There it is. He unlocks his purple attribute. Once again, Kestrel and Fawn, you feel that like almost calming wave come over the both of you again as he takes a step forward. Very well, but this apparently non-useless mage is very hungry. I didn't eat breakfast this morning, you know. And so prepare your wallet, 'cause I'm going to order whatever the hell I want.
We managed to sell this golden slime, and I'll treat you to whatever you want.
Good.
Fawn,
I'm going to pass out for 5 minutes.
Fawn, like, kind of looks back at the icebox. Hey, I don't think we can sell that in Prish. No, I don't think so either. How are you gonna give him his money? Oh.
From behind, you almost sense a slight menacing aura.
Turns around and looks at Alameda slowly. It looks like we're sticking together for a little while longer.
He thinks to himself for a second. Depends. Where are you two heading?
We're heading out west, same direction as you. Kestrel mutters.
Oh, and you said you weren't going to be. We wouldn't meet again. Would you look at that?
Yes, yeah. I suppose we're headed in the same direction. We can stick together until I get you your paycheck, as a business arrangement, of course.
Oh, yes, that sounds absolutely delightful. I'm sure we'll have many other crazy adventures on. Who knows, maybe even a mythical rainbow slime exists.
Hey, Fawn? Yeah? Is there a rainbow slime in that book of yours? I don't know. Want to check? No. Let's get him his dinner. He honestly earned it. Fawn, just a big smile on her face. Why? What's that look for? You're making friends. You're going to need to clarify that one with me again. No, it's the way you treat him. It's like, what was it? Trust? Extreme look of like,
So this is the power.
closed eyes, serious face. Stop that. Grabs Fawn by the head. No, come on. Listen, I know it's been hard, but it's good you're meeting people you can trust again. I trust that man as far as I can throw him. Which is pretty far. get inside.
As you two head inside, you feel another weird surge of an increase in power. Kess and Fun, now for as long as you're on the same map as Alameda, gain a +1 to your rolls to do as well.
Ooh, excellent.
You three head inside the inn, and Kess, for the time being, your wallet has taken a hefty hit from Alameda's revenge brunch, I guess. And with that, I'm going to call this fun little mini RP to a close.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that was...
Feel free to call the recording now.
Okay, and that is the end of our recording. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!
Bye!